I'm going to be reacting to your guys' choices as the best movie fight scenes ever. There were so many choices, I got overwhelmed. But you guys made some amazing choices, like this one and that one and this one and that one and this one. But ultimately, it came down to just 3, and these were the winners. Whoa! So let's do this. Whoa!
Oh, you need to see this.
This is the infamous church scene from the 2014 film, The Kingsman, directed by Matthew Vaughn. It's a batshit crazy scene. I've covered it before in Bad Movie Fights versus Good Movie Fights, Volume 3. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It is a mad fight. I've not actually watched it since I did that video, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't actually watch it during that video as well. I'd seen it many years before. I kind of scrolled through it and picked out the best moments, the moments that I knew about from a technical standpoint. This scene, I personally don't think it's that incredible. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But it's a great scene. It's a great, great scene. It's very violent, very kinetic, and extremely technically ingenious. Now, as you can see, this is a whole 5-minute scene, and it looks like a continuous shot, which is brilliant. The plan with the scene was to try and shoot it over 7 days. In the end, it took them close to 2 weeks. Now, this is one of the reasons why I don't think the scene is as great as it seems. It appears to be a continuous shot, but it's actually not a continuous shot. You can see there's loads of stitchings, there's loads of moments where they've gone behind a character and it's gone dark. And I can tell you as a filmmaker, it's very, very easy nowadays to stitch scenes like that together. It was very hard to do back in the 80s and the 70s. Cameras were bulkier. Editing wasn't as slick. You couldn't shoot on digital, you had to shoot on film. So shooting scenes like this back then was pretty much impossible. I think one of the first films to really nail it was the Oscar-winning film Birdman, starring Michael Keaton and Edward Norton, and Emma Stone. And this film uses a similar technique where you stitch shots together. In fact, one of your guys' favorite films, Atomic Blonde, does exactly the same thing. Over 100 actors and stunt doubles were used for this particular scene. As a filmmaker myself, this scene would be a nightmare to shoot. I'm not even sure if I'd want to shoot something like this because, first of all, I just like the idea of things being naturally kinetic, naturally continuous. I don't like the stitched edit thing too much. It feels like cheating. Like if it's stitched together, it's not a continuous shot. So it's not really a continuous shot. It's a fake continuous shot. So that kind of defeats the purpose, in my humble opinion. Who am I to talk? Matthew Vaughn is the Hollywood director here. But I personally wouldn't like to do it. But to do it isn't easy. Now, I've said it's easier than it was back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, but it's not easy. And for that, it needs to be commended. In fact, the whole thing needs to be commended because Colin Firth, the lead actor, trained for months to get in shape to do those scenes. As you can see from this video here, he puts in the work. As you can also see from the video, the cameraman is moving around trying to catch things as they go along. It's brilliant. It's a really great scene. And it's a really, really good film. The sequels aren't as good, I must say. Look at this. Got Elton John. Ridiculous. But I do love this film, and I do love this scene.
I didn't expect it to be that effective.
Next film. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. So this is one of my favorite films ever. OldBoy 2003, South Korean film. If you've not seen it, watch it now. Amazing, amazing, amazing. That shot, all done over one continuous take, is the exact definition of a continuous take. Now, this was actually shot over a period of 2 days. It may seem like a really easy thing to do, but actually, if you think about this shot, it's not easy at all. So think about the geography of the shot. We start off here, in this particular shot here. And as you can see, it's not the wide shot that we end up in. It's a shot down the corridor which shows scope. Now, I've seen the director talking about this shot. Look at the roof. Look at the angles on the roof. Look at those pipes. They are extended outwards. And the reason why is to show scale, to show that it's bigger than it actually is. Because when we come back to this shot here and the wide shot, obviously, from a technical standpoint, you can't put the camera in the tunnel and get a wide shot like that, especially on a 2:3:5 ratio, which is what this film was shot on. To do that, they had to shoot somewhere else. So what it's trying to do is show you how big and wide this corridor is. But in actuality, it's not the same corridor. Brilliant filmmaking. What I really love about this shot is the use of special effects that are so sparse. For example, when you see an opponent fall down, that isn't always because he's made contact. On the day, he didn't make contact. Now you have to remember, there were 15 takes of this shot. And not all of them, in fact, none of them were perfect. That's the director's words, not mine. So sometimes the opponent would fall down, but there wouldn't be any contact. They would fix that with CGI. And this moment here where he's tired is actually real. He's actually tired for real. The actor got tired during the take. They kept it in there. I love it because just think about a real fight. Would you just be continuously fighting non-stop? And I had a video on this channel where I spoke about a scene from Extraction 2. It's in the prison yard and Chris Hemsworth is fighting maybe 50 prisoners and prison guards. And I said the scene wasn't very realistic because he doesn't get tired at any point. This shot here is brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It makes me feel connected to the character, to the realism of the film, and to the narrative. If you haven't seen OldBoy yet, you need to watch it. Because out of all the fights on this video, it's the best.
I don't want to fight you. Come on. I don't want to fight you. Stop it.
No! Nobody ever finds you.
Try these on.
Look, you crazy mother.
Put these on.
Hey! Stay away from me.
I'm telling you, you dumb son of a...
You dirty motherfucker.
World's longest fight, guaranteed, the world's longest fight. So this is a scene from John Carpenter's film, They Live, which came out in 1988. It's actually kind of a funny scene, but it borders on comical and also genuinely brilliant. It lasts for nearly 6 minutes with these two actors going back and forth, fighting each other non-stop in an alleyway because one of them won't put on sunglasses. What the? I mean, it was the 80s, so, you know, it makes sense.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Now, to get a scene like this to work, they needed to rehearse for weeks. If you look at the floor there, the concrete, it's actually just rubber. Now, to shoot a scene like this, obviously, you'd need to do numerous takes. So, because the actors are putting a lot of physical demands on themselves, the best way to get around that is to actually use multiple cameras. And they used multiple cameras in this scene. And what that allows you to do is basically not have to reshoot the scene over and over again. If you've not shot a film before, you should probably know by now, if you don't know, that they don't just shoot one angle and then be done with the shot. They shoot multiple angles. So, for example, this angle here, on this actor here, may have been done 10 times. And then they have to shoot everything on this side of the frame, basically, because the lighting is hitting this actor. So what they do is they shoot everything they need to shoot with the lights facing this way. And then they'll turn over, which is basically putting the lights on the other side of this scene and shooting everything in this direction. So wides, over the shoulders, close-ups, anything from this angle. And that saves a lot of time. However, it's a very long process. So using multiple cameras can sometimes save you a lot of hard work.
I think the thing that frustrates me the most about making a film when I'm on set is this: I just want to get this film done. So I don't have lunch, I don't have breakfast, and I wait till I'm finished before I eat. I think Christopher Nolan does the same thing. I'm not copying Christopher Nolan. I've always done that. I just have a mentality of get the work done, relax afterwards, and then get back on set. But I just want this film to be shot as soon as possible. So it really frustrates you as a director when you have to shoot one angle. What that means is that this camera here is facing me here, and I am lit. So we would shoot everything from this angle, and I would be talking to blah, 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 to the camera, to you. And then if I was going to film you, I would then put the light on this side and light you here, because that's film. So what that means essentially is during the course of filming, you have to consistently be moving the lighting. It's not just the lighting as well. It's the props. It's the lighting stand. It's the actors. For example, all the crew would be behind the camera. You wouldn't put your crew over here because you see them in the shot. That makes sense, right? So you shoot everything from one angle and then you turn over and you shoot the other way. And that can take hours, hours upon hours. So the benefit of having more than one camera on set is great. It means that you can cut a lot of time reshooting things over and over again. For example, you can get close up of my hand and a close up of my face at the same time. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing that because you can't do both at the same time. But one camera could be facing at my hand, another camera could be facing my face, another camera could be over my shoulder. A number of shots can be done at once. Ridley Scott used this method excessively on Napoleon and especially on Gladiator 2, to which his director of photography wasn't too happy.
And I heard from someone else, but when Ridley Scott shoots, does he use multiple cameras?
He does now. He's quite impatient, so he likes to get as much as he can at once. Now, that's not very good for cinematography because you can only really light from one angle, I believe, unless it's totally flat and nothing. So the problem is with that, you light from one side. You look at the older films, getting depth into things was very much a part of lighting. But he wants to just get it all done. We shoot rehearsals, we don't block, we don't do any of those things. But having lots of cameras, I don't think has made the films any better.
When you say you don't block, what do you mean?
We don't block and rehearse scenery. No.
So just the actors come onto the set?
Yeah, we just do it. And then hopefully you'll do 3 takes, and by take 3, the camera operators have worked out the focus pullers know where the focus goes. The grip's got some marks on the floor, and I'm going to maybe manage to tweak the lighting a bit. It's a bit rush. But that's changed in him. That's the way he wants to do it, and I don't like it. Rather than me being the cook and cooking you something wonderful in my kitchen downstairs, you just go to the supermarket with one of those really big trolleys and just put your arm on the shelf and just chuck all that stuff in, and we'll sort it out later. It's really lazy. It's the CG elements now of tidying things up, leaving things in shot, cameras in shot, microphones in shot, bits of set hanging down, shadows from booms. And they just said, we'll clean up. When we did the first Gladiator, that was 50 shots, 50 effect shots. That was it. 50. This one would be in the thousands.
They Live is another movie fighting classic. You need to watch it. If you haven't seen it, watch it now after this video is finished. I mean, if you want to watch it now, hit the like button first, and then leave. But hit the like button. Right, so there you have it. 3 of the best movie fight scenes ever. You guys were awesome for sending me suggestions. Let me know in the comments which films you want me to react to next. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that as well. And I will catch you guys in the next one.